Hello everyone! Welcome to our vlog. This is Mimie Gwapa. This afternoon, we are on the roll in reading the top 10 best poems of all time. So this is the 5th installation for this afternoon only of the poetry readings we do in our channel. We are doing this impromptu. And you know what? As I was browsing what the poem that I will read next, I find myself a naivete. I really do not know these poems, even though they are top 10 best poems of all time. Or probably because I'm from the Philippines and these poems are based from the United States. So this poem, the 6th poem that we will read, is The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Or probably because I don't have literary subjects when I was in college, only the general one in English. So I have not read many poems actually. Only the famous poems that I have done in my previous presentations here. If you can browse them and back read and back hear them in this channel. So I have already uploaded quite a number. And now this afternoon, we shall read another poem entitled The Raven. We had such a hard time choosing just one of Poe's poems that, well, we cheated and made a list of his top 10 poems. For this list, though, we decided that The Raven was the most deserving of a spot since it is his most well-known and referenced poem. I mean, the poem was a movie and an NFL team named after it. But I actually did not watch this movie and I did not even know what an NFL means. Anyways, that's the naivety part of me. And now let's read this poem and I hope I will do justice for this one. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah! Distinctly, I remember it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly, I wished the morrow. Vainly, I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow to the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This is it, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, or "Madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was rapping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there and nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dreamed before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore!" Merely this, and nothing more. back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely it is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what there it is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the grave and stem decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven though, and I said, art sure no craven, tell me what thy lordly name is on the night Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marveled this ungainly fowl, to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as his soul is in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered. Tales I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then this bird said, nevermore. Startled at the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one broken bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of ore, and this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sight divining, with my head at ease reclining, on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er. But this velvet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er, shall he press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tattered floor. Wretched, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, these angels he has sent thee. Respite, respite and repent from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind of nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by honor granted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet said, I think of evil, prophet still, if bird or evil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden, it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird of fire or fiend. I shriek, upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token, or that thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy break from out of my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven never flitting, still is sitting, on the placid bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadows on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted never more. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. It is my first time to read his poem collection. It's such a long one, and though there are rhymes, it's just repeated words. And it's about Lenore and the Raven. Since it's my first time reading this, I cannot process it yet, but I will give you a review. I am even planning to share reviews of poems that I have written, but for the meantime, I am content with making and reading poems because as I am an aspiring writer, and my main genre, of course I write some other genre, but my main genre is writing poems. I plan to share some of my poem collection also, but since they are not yet professionally published and I am still planning to publish them, I think it will warrant me to put them out from my social media accounts. So that's the reason why I stopped recording my poems, because I am still submitting them on journals and poetry journals, and I hope to see my poem also published with my name also published. And I hope you will subscribe to this channel though and recommend poems that you want me to read. But if you really want me to read my own collections, please comment them down below also. And if you have any recommendations of what poetry journal that pays will easily accept poems, please comment them down. And I am very much willing to send my poem collections and my poem pieces. Thank you for watching this video though, and thank you for tuning in until the end. It's already 12 minutes. Oh, this poem is so long, and I have already given a lot of intro as well. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye!